install Windows 10 steps to follow. Here are the Windows 10 installation steps from start to finish. If you don't know how to install Windows 10 or any other Windows operating system for that matter, this guide will get you through even if you don't consider yourself proficient enough when it comes to computers. First step you need to do, insert bootable DVD into the optical pin or the USB disk in the computer. Note, if you're using a tower case, insert the USB drive into one of the rear ports. Front panel USB connectors can cause a lot of issues during the install process. Step number 2, press the FBK multiple times while the computer starts to open boot manager menu. Step number 3, select the drive until that contains the Windows 10 installer. Some drives could show up twice. If that's the case, I recommended you choose a version that is the modern way to install Windows 10. It's not possible to change without installing Windows. Step number 4, a message press indicate boot from the CD or DVD. A press doing so will start the Windows 10 install process and the Windows 10 logo will appear. 5 step, the first step is to choose to install now. Here, there's also an option to repair your computer. We won't be doing that now.
Next, we'll need to choose the language of the interface, the time and currency format, and the keyboard layout. You can mix the match this to your liking and don't have to reflect the actual location where you will be using the PC or the actual keyboard layout. You can change them later after the step 7. Next step is to enter the Windows 10 product key. You can skip this step if you want to active Windows later on. Make sure you enter correct code. It means up of 25 characters. Next step 8. Select the Windows edition you want to install. It must match the product key entered earlier or else Windows won't active. If you're interested in Windows 10 edition and differences, we have an article detailing them. Step 9. To proceed, you need to agree licensing terms. Step 10. Select the installation type, upgrade an existing installation of Windows version 7, 8, or 10, or custom. Since it's new computer, we'll be choosing the latter option.
Number 11. Now it's time to let the installer know the disk where Windows file will be copied. At this step, you can partition the existing disk into smaller virtual disks. If you only have one and format disk, just select it and hit next. The installer will create all needed partitions. I'll be doing an advanced setup and guide for this install step, so check back to this page. I make sure to link it back here. I think it will be must be read if you're installing Windows. Installing it on a multiple desk computer, and especially if you want to dual boot. Step number 12. The setup will now start to copy files from the installed disk to their final destination. Step number 13. At this step, you'll be asked to select the geographical region and keyboard layout again. They can differ and will override the settings from step 6. Optionally, you can add more keyboard layouts. Use Windows plus Shift to switch between them while using Windows. Step number 14. Now it's time to select the type of predefined setup for personal use or organization, in which case a system administration will enforce some settings for you. We'll be using personal for our guide. Number 15. Now we create the first user account, which will also act as an administrator for this computer. Microsoft will push you toward using a Microsoft Online account, but you can also set up offline account. For privacy reasons, I suggest you set up the latter. You can read about the different here.
In step 16, you have to select 3 security questions that will help you recover your account in case you forget the password. Step 17, privacy settings and Cortana are next. I personally disable everything that is possible at this step.
Some telemetry data will still be sent to Microsoft servers, but I'm planning an article on how you can disable almost everything that is affecting privacy in Windows 10. So stay tuned. Lastly, after a few moments and couple of different screens, you will be greeted with a familiar Windows 10 desktop for the first time.